How many folks in Warren? Like
5,500 right now.
Yeah.
When I grew up, it was about 6,000.
Y'all just they falling off.
I know, right?
No matter what you think your deal is, mine's way better. Than
Way better. You be like, oh man, you gonna sell me for that? Like, yeah, but I ain't pay but this.
Right.
My grandfather was the only person that was of color that I seen had relationships with Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that I saw that do business when he walked into banks, they knew him by first name. People sometimes feel like that if you're smooth with your conversation, then you're expecting something. It's a segue to get something else, right?
He didn't even pick up for his daughter. Where am I take notes from him from? My wife just told me to take some notes from Atkins, y'all, and Atkins just put his daughter on Do Not Disturb.
Hey man, listen, I guarantee you, this girl, I ain't gonna say she ain't gonna want nothing, but it's gonna be something very basic. How much you wanna bet?
I'm sure it's gonna be deep. Watch this.
Watch this.
Man,
Hey bud.
why my car just stopped working?
Dirty sucker. Your car just stopped working. You and I are rare breeds. And that's something you gotta know, that you're not common.
Mm-hmm.
We're the weird ones.
Yeah.
To them. We are the people that come in with the laughter and the smiles and wanna touch everybody and speak to everybody. We are the weird ones. All right? You gotta know that.
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall.
We going live, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so most of the time when you do your podcast, especially as you're talking, as you can see right here, I sound nice and buttery. So you need to make sure that your mic is like anywhere from like 2 to 4 inches. And that's why I say we can raise it up if
2 to 4 inches.
that ain't 2 to 4.
Need to come up some for me.
And you can always move it away.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
2 to 4 is the magic number.
There it is right there.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell y'all something. This episode was brought to you by Cool Breeze Lemonade. I feel like that'd be a type of lemonade you would have at your house. Like, this my I call it Cool Breeze.
Cool Breeze Lemonade. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And who is SIBO? Where does that come from?
So SIBO is a rapper from the early 90s, mid to late 90s.
I figured it wasn't a real person.
Yeah, he's a rapper. So this guy named Pat came up with the name SIBO. So it kind of just stuck with me. So my whole family called me SIBO.
You say it was a real rapper named what, though?
SIBO.
And how he come up with it if it was already a person?
I'm saying the rapper name is SIBO.
Mm-hmm.
You go look up. His name's SIBO.
Was this like
SIBO.
part of the DMX
SIBO,
era?
the bald head nut is what it's called, for real.
Who do you like? Was this part of the and or was he like
no. It was like I won't say gangster rapper, but it was some cool rap. Yeah.
like DMC?
No, not that old. Not that old.
Oh, more modern?
Yeah, late 90s.
Oh, dang.
Late 90s. Like I was in high school, 96 when I graduated, so they came up, they called me SIBO.
Where you graduate from?
So I called it SIBO 1000 to put a little spice on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a little something for
It's
me.
my alter ego.
That's a little something for
When
me.
they call me SIBO, I turn into somebody else.
Like who?
I kind of like I'm cornball, but when I call me SIBO, I add about 30% thug life to it.
We wouldn't necessarily see this when you in uniform, huh?
Correct. Correct.
Hey, babe, can you throw me my water real quick?
Yeah. Let me get a hen and Coke.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you like an actual Coke?
No, I'm not a soda drinker. I drink bourbon. I'm gonna bring you a bottle of bourbon.
Oh, no, I got my water bottle right there in my backpack on the side.
Hey, listen. Can we bring a bottle of bourbon? Oh, I know. Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we just here.
I know somebody you need to interview
They gonna give me
for
some
money.
Okay.
It's a black liquor company in West Helena, Arkansas that's on the move right now.
Really?
Yes. I mean, they have a whole distillery. I went and did a tour. I bought liquor through, they sponsor a lot of events here in Little Rock. A ton. And they're on the move. Black owned. His grandfather's farmland. He got an amazing story. I mean, his story is dope. In each bottle, they serve a brown, bourbon, a gin, and a vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And like each bottle like has something neat with like the proof is the amount of acres, If you drink it down for enough, you can see their land in the inside. On the brown, if you drink it down for enough, you can see the pictures of his grandparents.
That's
Pretty dope.
tight.
It's called Delta Dirt. I got
That's
his
tight.
number. Yeah, the story is.
I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it because I think that's one of the things that make you dope is because you will go talk to anybody and they mama when it comes to just being who you are. So let me do my intro and we'll get back in here. What's up, y'all? It's another episode of Stealing from Friends where we bring on dope folks who do dope stuff. Now, this gentleman so happened to be one of the people I met when I got back in the military back in God knows how long back in the day. But he don't do that stuff no more. He do a lot of hood rat things with his friends. But one of the things that makes him really dope is the power to connect to people, to find some type of commonality. I think that's how you say it. That's the college word of the day. Commonality.
I like it.
Okay. Sibo 1000. Wow. What it do?
Man, glad to be on the show.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you having me. I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit slightly disappointed.
Actually, you're having me.
We're having each other's company here is beneficial both ways.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm going to tell you what I didn't like. I'm going to go ahead and get the negative out the way. I didn't like how you came here thinking that we wasn't going to be what we are today.
I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
When I put up in the parking lot, I slowly started to change my thought. Like, wait a minute, this is for real. I was expecting like a camper trailer or, something like, a building on Asher or something like that. I didn't know.
Yeah, like on John Barrow. Nothing against JB.
Nothing against JB, but you know what?
There's a certain aesthetic, though, or a certain perception.
You exceeded the expectations by far.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I'm going to get right into it before we kind of dig into what makes you dope. But tell me a little bit about yourself, what you did, all the good stuff before you rock and roll.
Cool. Well, I'm a country boy from Warren, Arkansas.
How many folks in Warren? Like
5,500 right now.
Yeah.
When I grew up, it was about 6,000.
Y'all just falling off.
I know, right? Came from single parent home. Got one daughter named Courtney. She's 25 years old.
You got a new son, too?
Got a new son. Got a puppy named Coop. Got a golden doodle. He's the new addition to the family. Joined the military after college that I didn't finish. Did 23 and a half years. Retired. I did go back to college to get my degree.
Heard that.
Right.
Shout out.
So now.
Not that you had to.
I didn't have to. Well, you know what? I had to.
Okay.
I did some research from my dad's side of the family, and no one on his side of the family ever graduated from college.
This is more so personal.
Yeah, so it was personal. So I want to change that, And so
Shout out to the folks, and they from Warren too, I assume.
they from Warren
Keep
too.
in mind, y'all, like I said, y'all falling out.
So my daughter and I are the only two Atkins from that family that have college degrees. She's about to be the first to get her master's. So yeah.
Shout out to
So
her.
it was personal.
I
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to, though. I just want to put that
I
on
didn't
Front
have
Street.
to, but it was free. You know what I'm saying? GI Bill was
You love you a good deal, don't you?
Like, man, I'm a deal guy. Yeah, I'm a deal. It's got to be a deal, though, for
Like
me to get it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know where it comes from, because when we received the savings, I was like, hey, man, we're just passing the savings on to you. I don't ever ask any questions. So whatever deals you're making, I think you're doing a great job.
Keep in mind, you may think you're getting a deal, but I'm winning in every transaction.
You don't have to say it from that perspective. You don't have to make me feel bad about buying a thing that I thought was a good deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up now. I'm thinking about it.
'Cause you got to win.
Look, no matter what you think your deal is, mine's way better than
Way better. You be like, oh, man, you going to sell me for that? I'm like, yeah, but I ain't paid with this.
that. Right. Tell you after the fact.
That's right. That's right.
One of the things that's really dope that I've seen that you've been able to do is you talk a good game. You're real smooth. But not only that, when we out doing stuff, you dang near on the same vein with Moore. I don't know how well Moore actually like builds his relationships and all that stuff, like curates that. But you know a lot of people, and for sometimes I think, why would you even need to know that person? Like, what's it matter you know that person?
Right.
So kind of walk through me, like, why is that beneficial and all this stuff? And
Well, I learned something very valuable in life at a young age. I saw my grandfather, who was a business owner. He was a entrepreneur. He was a logger. And in Warren, Arkansas, my grandfather was the only person that was of color that I seen had relationships with Caucasians. The only person that I saw that do business, when he walked into banks, they knew him by first name and went to other business. They knew him by first name. It was like a personal relationship, but I didn't see that with other people. And I saw where my grandfather was in life opposed to these other people. My grandfather had more, not because he worked hard, it was through relationships. And I saw my grandfather in the 80s that can walk in a bank and get a loan without signing any paperwork.
Yeah.
And they trusted him, I'll be back, to take care of everything. And so I knew that building relationships would get me more in life than staying in this hole over here. So at a young age, I learned how to speak to everybody and just create conversation, whether it was like your shoes.
I was gonna say, you should be making folks feel good too.
Right.
Yeah.
And the best way to interact with someone is to always lead with a compliment. No matter what it is, from the smallest thing, from your hair, your shoes, your smile, and that makes people feel comfortable allowing you in. So I was able to perfect building relationships at an early age because I saw it benefited my grandfather. Still to this day, his relationships with people still carry on. My brothers and I are still benefiting from those relationships that he created years ago.
Now, you feel like that's at what point do you look at that and you're like, man, I'm my own person now. You ain't got to keep bringing up Grandpa Atkins.
I don't because he was my superhero, and if anybody I wanted to be like, it was him.
Heard that.
So yeah, so that makes me smile when people reference him when they talk to me. Yeah.
Okay, because you know what I think about when I talk to you. You ever seen what's that guy's name? I don't know if it's Yes Man, but I'm gonna tell you where I'm trying to go with this. Being that you're so well at talking to folks, especially psychologically, your steps are to make somebody feel good before you either ask for something or there'll be some secondary intentions. That can almost be very. I guess somebody could see it as being kind of shoddy or kind of in a negative sense. Like, could you see where somebody would perceive, oh, it's because he know how to talk to folks, he can get what he want.
Yeah, because I've been called a slick talker, and people sometimes feel like that if you're smooth with your conversation, then you're expecting something. It's a segue to get something else, right? And so so it does come off sometimes as negative, like, okay, what you want? You're not just talking to me, right? Not just talking to me. So so no, I never have any intention when I try to make a new relationship.
I tell you, since we've been in the same organization, there's been 3 folks I think I've tried to take a lot of stuff from. One was being you, another one was a cat named Aldrich, and then there was another dude. I can't even think of the dude's name, but he's not in no more. But just the way y'all were smooth when y'all did stuff, but also make folks feel good. I'm like, dang. Or in the military, we'd be like, hey, what up, gorgeous? Whereas in the civilian space, a male sending it to another male or a male sending it to somebody else's wife would be kind of spotty. Whereas we did that all the time, and it just makes somebody feel like from right here to be like,
it does.
Like, dang, okay.
But you had it already, though.
I didn't necessarily hone it. I didn't know what I had.
You did. I saw it. I saw it when I met you. I knew you had it. Because when I met you, it was jokes from the beginning. It was like we had been knowing each other off the rip. So you had it. So when I met you, I actually saw a piece of myself, which is why I took to you, because you were like talking way too much then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, it's not reflecting up there. Charger. You can plug it into that black cord that's over there on that wall. That's a C cord. You can plug into that. A lot of the times people would see it as more of like that guy is doing something I want to get to, so let me just try to emulate that. Because you hang around somebody long enough, you start to maybe pick up their mannerisms, maybe the way they like their cadence or how they use certain words, like that valley type of deal. But as long as I've seen you, you've been the same you the whole doggone time. And what's great about that is, even if you do have a problem or an issue with somebody, I feel like you still either avoid it altogether in regards to that situation. But I don't ever see you mad about just about nothing.
Okay.
Why?
Well,
because some people would say you don't show enough emotion.
That I do hear that, especially from women.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, truth is, I had tons of built up anger for years. For years, it just built up, and it prevented me from smiling. My mom used to ask me, "Why are you so frowned up?" Like, I'm not frowned up. I had a permanent frown.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it. Right? Had no clue that I was frowned up. And so, I just at one point in my life, I decided to be happy, and that was my only emotion I was gonna ever have. I was never not gonna be happy. That's a choice I made. No matter what's going on in life, I'm gonna be happy.
And I feel like you do a pretty good job of that, especially bringing people into your ecosystem. Whether and I'm doing pretty good about it now because I got friends that do it all the time. But like you're always checking on folks, or hey, I'm just checking in, and you don't have any secondary intentions behind that. Were those some of the same things that you end up using? Like, did that help you when you were in your first career doing stuff? Like, or do you just, or is that you just being a nice person?
When you say first career, you mean
You did something before the military?
not really? It don't count.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Uncle Craig and the drug dealer community.
Right,
yeah, none of that.
Bootlegging.
Yeah,
But no,
Moonshining.
man. It actually, I actually developed this as I got deeper into my career, and I picked it up from somebody. So when I started recruiting, I was numbers. There wasn't the care, the checking on my soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And I picked up from this guy named Timmy Civils. He was like on Sundays, like going to his soldiers' house and just like checking on them, see if they need anything. How was your week? You know, just randomly in the car, and he would just like call him, man, let me call this guy I put in 2 years ago. Just that right there. And he was a very successful recruiter.
Yeah.
So I knew how to talk, but I didn't have the care to go with it. So I added that into me being a great communicator. I said, you know what?
You can't call yourself a great communicator. Let me just pause. You can't call yourself that.
Not a great communicator. Okay. Just someone who likes to talk.
Okay.
You know, I added that piece to it. So at that point, I started just like making it a habit to just like, you know, hey, how you doing? Just checking on people all the time, just random people, just checking on them. And just my career took off from there because people actually didn't feel like they were just a number. They actually felt like, oh, he cares.
Yeah.
He cares. So, of course, that generates referrals.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it generates referrals.
And that's exactly what I was going to lead to, because I mean, just the power of not necessarily almost networking in a sense. If you're in sales, obviously, if you sell somebody a house and you end up if you do a great job and taking care of them, obviously the idea is hopefully that they get you referrals. But outside of that, maybe you don't have any initial business with somebody, but because of maybe the connection that you made, now it's more of like a, hey, who do I know that golf out that can get me XYZ? You know what? I can, you know what I'm saying?
That guy.
So a lot of those stuff can be doggone applicable to just about any business.
True.
You know, you want to answer that Android? Or at least turn it off. I mean, it's a podcast.
Hey, man,
it's a
listen.
podcast. I mean, you can
It's
answer
my
it.
daughter calling.
Yeah, answer it. You can do whatever.
No, I ain't going to answer it.
So you're going to say no to your daughter?
Yeah, I told her no.
Shout out to the daughter, where the part of the episode is where he don't pick up the phone knowing that it could be an emergency.
She she just said she loved me more. That's it. So.
Take what notes? He didn't even pick up for his daughter. What am I taking notes from him from? My wife just told me to take some notes from Atkins, y'all, and Atkins just put his daughter on Do Not Disturb.
Hey, man, listen. I guarantee you, this girl, I ain't gonna say she ain't gonna want nothing, but it's gonna be something very basic. How much you want to bet?
I'm sure it's going to be deep. Watch this.
Watch this.
Ben,
Hey, bud.
why my car just stopped working?
Dirty sucker. Your car just stopped working. Hey, listen. I'm doing a podcast right now, okay?
Okay.
So I need you to just go to the dealership and tell them your dad's name. Just pick out your new one, okay?
Dad, I'm not laughing.
Okay. Where you at?
At work.
All right. So call. Give me a minute. I'll call USA and we'll get it towed, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye. Turn the phone off.
I just want to address how that would have worked out for me. Camille would have been like,
She would have kept calling
Camille would have told me, like, let's say the same incident happened. Camille would have told me, and Camille, you can't be in my podcast. Camille would have told me, so that means you can't come right now? Camille, what I'm going to do if I leave now is the same thing of calling somebody to come and pick it up. I still got to do that anyway.
True. Very, very true.
Do you feel like that's true? I want you to come here, like
Right
why?
now.
Right? Like what I'm gonna do there. We calling USAA.
Calling USAA. Free towing.
How great is that?
Great, man.
Car wasn't starting, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, she don't know what the issue
Typically,
is.
I know what to do in that case, but
What would you do in that case, babe?
if it's a blown out tire or something like that, I'm calling Thomas. I'm not gonna call USA because you can fix it. Why am I gonna call them for when you're gonna be quicker
You need something right now.
right now?
Right.
And so
That's different. So that's situationally based.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, women are right now type of people, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of right now, let's not let that take effect from how great USAA was. I'm not saying this is a sponsor post, but USAA, I mean, hey, we're military guys. I would love a couple dollars on this. But I used their service for some roadside assistance, and they brought out a dude. His name could have been Kentrell for all I know. And it's pretty good. Got in and out. And you can track them on the app when they're going to be there.
Same here.
It's amazing.
I was moving
Furniture?
my house, and in it storming,
Mm-hmm.
my whole transmission went out with a trailer hooked up in the back.
Is that bad?
USA. Man, I called, and they had a guy out in like 15 minutes.
Did you use the app too?
Yep, and they
How
was
great is that?
tracking. Yeah, I'm telling you, they was tracking. You know, I was like, okay, the guy's like 10 minutes out.
You know, folks say they have bad experiences in the military, especially like the ones that be on like the side of the road. They a veteran. They have a little cardboard sign. And you can probably help with this since you're retired. And this is not what the podcast is about, but this will kind of give me a different perspective. With so many resources that we have, why is it that some veterans on cardboard paper are saying that, why are they doing that if we have so many resources? I'll start there.
Well, I'm going to say that I don't believe they're veterans. I think they just using that because they know that we're here in a patriotic state,
And feeling the
country.
heartstrings.
Yeah, so they feel people be more compelled to give if they added veteran to their card. So I've never
It's a cardboard box, not just a card.
cardboard box, right?
Yeah.
So I've never seen or heard anyone say that the VA turned them away, right? Never ever I heard. So that's a mental illness too.
Yeah.
You could sit on the side of the road for 12 hours a day. That's a mental illness right there.
Yeah.
You can go to the VA and get a hotel for 30 days. 30 days, 3 meals,
Yeah.
30 days. So I don't believe that they are veterans. I really don't.
And I'm glad you kind of segued to that because that was going to be on the later end. But you going through this process of, I'll just call it the you know how to navigate the system when somebody's about to get retired.
Check.
And you go through these appointments and stuff like that. This is part of the episode where we are stealing. I want you to know or understand this. So before I even ask you this, is everything good from that perspective? Could something hinder you if you was to say, oh, yeah, I just did X, Y, Z? And you can do surface level stuff, but
Everything's good.
okay. So when somebody's getting ready to get out, especially if they're somewhat healthy,
Okay.
that true or false that nobody's 100% healthy, you're going to have some problems. And then if they do have problems, how can we go about getting this money after we get out?
How can you go about getting this money after you get out?
Right? Or at least starting to get out. Because I feel like you did your stuff early.
I did my stuff early. So I was given a playbook though. Like
We're here to steal. So,
Right.
I mean, give me some of the plays.
right. So someone gave me the playbook 10 years ago.
Okay.
Right. And they was like, yo, start now. Document everything that happens to you. Right. Go to the doctor for everything that happens to you. So you have to create a silent playbook over for yourself and keep it away from the military, right? Because some things can be detrimental and get you, put out the military early, right? So I just started building my own little medical profile on my own and just put it over here in the stash, just like the small things. Then as I got later toward my career, I started adding the big things. Once I hit like the 15-year mark, I started adding like the back pain, the migraines, and things like that. So
I feel like you just went out your way to go find some surgeries to get done.
no, I didn't. I actually was. I'm actually really banged up. I actually got to have back surgery again next month.
Here we go.
Yeah, yeah. So back to your question. No one is perfect. So the military brainwashes you, in a sense where you got to be a hard charge. You got to go when it hurts. Run through the pain, blah blah blah, and all you're doing is damaging something else in your body.
Yeah.
Right. So they want this super hard charge, blah blah, and so in your mind, you're great, you're healthy, But you talking about active duty or whatever, you're running 3 to 5 miles a day, working out.
How stupid is that?
Yeah, right. So now, you know how hard it would be to prove that you got back pain from the military when you're 60 now?
Really hard, I suppose.
It's really hard,
Okay.
So when you get ready to retire and think about VA, you can't think about the moment you're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about everything you've done, the sit-ups, which is the dumbest exercise in the world. You're going to have back pain. You're going to have leg pain. It might not hurt right now, but those things that you use throughout the course of your career, those things you need to document.
Did you get anything for being a recruiter? Because I always heard that stigma that you get X% from PTSD.
That is true. I didn't get it.
Okay.
But
you can smooth talk them into that.
I didn't, but I didn't need to
Okay.
because I got a good friend of mine that told me in order for you to get 100% disability, you need to have at least 300% worth of disabilities.
Okay, explain that piece.
All right. So let's say for my back, I got 40%. And for my migraines, I got 30%. That doesn't equate to 70%.
Okay.
All right. According to VA math. So I had,
It's rubbing against your pleather.
all right, my bad.
Yeah.
So if you got 300% worth of disabilities listed that you're submitting, they're gonna chop.
Gotcha.
Chop. So if you go in with 100,
I'm chopping down the doggone 40.
well, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So you gotta play the system, right? That if you go in and like, you know what, if I present this, that'll get me 100. No, you have to prove that it's service connected, right?
What does that mean directly?
Like it can mean a lot of things. Like you literally have to prove that this happened just because you went to the doctor while you were in the military. Doesn't mean it's service connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like me. I got hearing loss. I've been wearing hearing aids for 14 years.
Yeah, since you was 28, I heard. Yeah.
Hey, I got 0% for hearing loss.
Dang.
Yeah, so you have to prove that this happened. So proof is like when you go to your doctor for someone who's getting ready to get out and they want to start claiming things on their medical record to help with the VA. When they go to the doctor, they need to say, yes, while I was on active duty, I noticed my back was hurting me really bad. Or you know what? When I was at work, I'm active duty, man. I started getting these bad headaches, you know. So you need to tie every time you go to a doctor's appointment, it needs to be while you are at work on active duty.
Is this just verbiage? That's way it's.
Yes, it's
Okay.
documented. So when you go to your doctor, you got, when you go to a doctor, you got the nurse typing on the side. They putting all that in your medical record. It's going to be in there. So when I went to the doctor, I made sure that I tied it into, yes, when I was doing sit-ups or when I was running, or man, I was at work and while I'm on active duty, my head just started hurting and the light was making my head hurt. So it's referencing while I was at work. What is my work? I'm active duty. So when you go to the doctor,
That is clutch.
when you go in there, you gotta say it started when I was at work or when I was doing like my back pain, right? What's that exercise they use or they pull up, blah blah blah?
You talking about like on the actual barbell?
The machine they use to pull himself up. I just wanted to
The lower back pull press, whatever. Like
Yeah.
you're on the machine.
yeah, right there. Man, I used that so many times. Yeah, when I went in for back pain. Yeah, what is
You
that?
using it knowing you got back pain.
Right. I mean, but still, I have to prove that my back pain came
work-related.
from it's work related. Yeah. So I can have back pain all day long and just go to the doctor. Just because I'm on active duty during that time period doesn't mean that it's work related.
So, in that vein, let's say I get out and I didn't necessarily say that this was work related, or I didn't even mention an injury. Can I retro date stuff?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely, because it may not have been hurting then.
okay,
It may not have been hurting then,
that's the play. As simple as that.
Yeah.
It's hurting me now.
Yeah, it's hurting me now. So, but on something like that, to play it safe, they're going to ask you how you injured your back or how you injured this. That's when you go in and say, it had to come from doing the row.
Tracking. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It had to come from doing the row, because that's the only time I really used my back, when I was doing the row, when I was on active duty.
Yeah. Man, now that you've started to shift out, I know you're in a couple different things, and we chat about golf whenever you have time, but then you may take a stint because of the back pain and stuff. But what do you do now that's kind of still correlated to, like, do you go out meeting people? Do you feel like, you know what, I got about 50 folks that I know now. I think I'm good on meeting new folks. What do you do now?
So I still meet a lot of people. So right now I started a catering service called Capricorn Catering. Shout
Flex.
that out there, right?
Flex.
And so every time I do a catering gig, I meet 5 to 10 new people. And out of those 5 to 10 new people, it's tied to another catering gig.
Okay.
When I do that catering gig, I meet another 5, 10 new people, right? So it's like, it's never ending for me meeting new people. Everywhere I go, I'm connecting with 5 to 10 new people.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Okay.
That's how you grow your business, And like I told you early on, to tie this in, I saw my grandfather get more out of life by building relationships. I'm doing the same thing. I know if I go to this event here and kill it with my cooking, and people come in and want a business card, or, just talk about my food or whatever, I'm connecting with them. Guess what I'm getting out of this? More business.
Yeah.
More connection. And so I haven't even marketed. I ain't even got my logo finished yet. You don't see nothing on any social media platform about me catering, but I just word of mouth, man. When I meet people, I connect with people. I know how to sell myself, and my product. And so when I meet, everywhere I go, I meet people, and I just keep the cycle going. I got 5 people, 10 people, 15, 20. So
you put them in your Rolodex, or
No.
like, are you intentionally like, bro, I need to reach out to Dan from the bank. He said he had an event. Like, how are you tracking this? I mean, I know you used to be a recruiter and you had to track folks, but
It's a good question. When I'm sitting in my cigar lounge having me a drink, I thumb through some text messages, right? I'm like, bam, random text. Hey, haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing? How your business doing? Blah, blah, blah. Just random, just smoking a cigar and just randomly thumbing through. And I'll text 30 people in that. Sometimes it might be a copy and paste.
yeah.
But they don't know that.
That's right.
They don't know that. And so, and a lot of times, when I do those 30 text messages randomly, maybe once or twice a month, guess what I get out of those?
The return on it.
The return on, hey, my church is having an event. And are you open this day to
Cook chitlins.
whatever?
Right.
And so it's like I'm playing chess. To them, it feels like, oh, he's considerate. He care. Oh, he followed back up.
Yeah.
But I know if I send that 30 text messages random out the blue, just like, hey, just checking on you, haven't talked to you since the event. Hope all is well. The business, the grandkids, blah, blah. Out of that 30, my business going to grow just from me being a caring, talking person. Yep.
Man, one of the things that I have, I guess it's kind of like a double-edged sword, is because you can look at that as a positive, but then you can also look at it as a negative in regards of when people do stuff with a benefit in mind, that's not the golden rule. You should do it with nothing in return. But let's say I'm going to help out this nonprofit, and I know because I do this action, I'm going to see all these big dogs who are actually donating to it, and I know in my mind, if I go ahead and do that video and they're going to play it at the event, they're going to see my logo and all that stuff, they're going to ask who did it. How do you justify mentally that you are doing something nice, but you are also doing something with the intention of getting something out of it? Is that bad?
No, because no one knows your intention but you.
Yeah, but
You
should I
didn't
feel-
ask. You just put bait out there. Sometimes you go fishing, when you got the right bait, you still don't catch any fish. So that don't mean your intentions were to catch fish, but fish don't know that. You know, so you have everyone. I hate to say this because I don't want to sound contradictory, but you have a business, and of course, you want your business to grow. But every person that you shake hands with, you're not going to do business with, right? So that's why you got to shake hands with 30 people instead of one, right? So that's going to automatically it's going to satisfy your expectation just by you shaking more hands and talking to more people. So is that an expectation? Yes. But are you really like pushing a sales? No. No. You putting bait out there. And when they see me, guess what that's the catering guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, my church is having a 100th anniversary. You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So did you ask them for their business? Did you advertise?
Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. It's that relationship that we had. They remember me from this here, and bam, that's how it flows.
Dude. So let's say somebody outside looking in, and they may not be the most extroverted people, and you've worked with a ton of different folks in a sales environment. How can somebody that's not as super, I feel like I'm a bit more animated than you,
Very much so.
and you're a bit more still cool, calm, and collective, but fun person. So I would say I'm here.
You are.
I put you here. You see where for the camera I shifted from.
There's a difference.
There's a slight difference.
I would agree.
What can somebody do that's not as extroverted? Are you extroverted?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that's not, or the opposite side of the tally for us? How can they utilize these skills? We're like, dang, I ain't really trying to go talk to nobody. I ain't really that. That's not my.
You either have a really good product and really good marketing team. Because if you don't have that, then you got to have a voice, right? You got to. You got to. And like I said earlier, I don't market. I just talk. I don't have a business card with my logo on it. I don't have a social media page. I just do it through my voice and talk. So a person that's like not really much a talker, they got to market really well through the quiet platform, which is social media.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I always been told, closed mouth don't get fed.
Better preach.
So I think that you would miss out on, because you can't build personal relationships through social media.
Correct.
You build them by shaking hands
And kissing babies.
kissing babies. Right. So think that if a person lacks that in their business and suffer, then they got the solution already.
But I'm so scared though. I don't like to go do that.
And take a communication class. You know what? I should start a business. I should start a little. I'm not a great communicator.
Intro to communication.
Intro to communication. Yeah.
From a sales perspective, because a lot of the folks that we chat with are real estate agents, and one of the things I hark on, because it was thrown down our chest, is the cold calling. And so, did you ever take heed to cold calling? Was that ever your thing?
You know what? Yes. To answer your question, yes. And it was the worst. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, right?
Okay.
Because I was doing it wrong.
Oh, that's your fault.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
doing it wrong
okay.
because I wasn't well. So cold calling, I thought I was more like a robot. I had the same script. We had a book in front of us. You ever remember that book?
Yeah.
We had a book. And I realized that I'm a robot. I was like, you know what? One day, I just threw the book down.
Yeah.
And I just going to call and talk to them like I'm talking to my cousin, And they didn't feel like they were talking to a robot anymore. They actually felt like they were talking to a down-to-earth person.
Yeah.
So one of the things I stopped doing as a recruiter, I stopped calling people and saying, hey, this is Sergeant Atkins. I just started saying, hey, this is Corey. How you doing?
Yeah.
Right? But think about how this sounds. Hey, I'm Sergeant Atkins with the National Guard. May I speak to...
My guard is up.
Their guard is up. But if I call and just say, hey, this is Corey Atkins. Is this Mr. Brown?
I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. A little more relaxed, right? It's almost like a civilian walking up to you, asking for your name, asking what's your name, opposed to a police officer.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's a
That
big difference.
approach
Yeah, the
feels different.
approach,
Mhm.
right? So I took that approach with calling and even in person. I even had a uniform on. I would never say, "Hey, I'm Sergeant Atkins."
Mm-hmm.
I always came with the more relaxed approach, but especially in cold calling, never mention Sergeant Atkins.
You feel like you good at cold calling?
I got good at it, but you got to know what the word "good" in recruiting is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are, your audience, the amount of people you have available to you. I was in Warren, Arkansas. I wasn't in Little Rock or Fayetteville.
Mm-hmm.
So my high schools had
12, 13.
graduating class of 36 people at Hermitage High School,
Yeah.
right? So how much cold calling can I do in a small town that the
Probably
population is 300 people? Right.
Put them in a group text.
Right. Right. Yeah. Those are right smoke signals in the air. Yeah. So it was my audience was a little less, a little different. So down in the South, when I made phone calls, truth is, after about my third year recruiting, most of the calls I got like, "Oh, you're Sergeant Atkins,"
Mm-hmm.
because I made myself known in the community. So you can sell better to someone that know of you, a person, opposed to someone who never heard of you in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so when I made calls after my third year, it was easier in the small town because I made sure everybody in that town seen Sergeant Atkins, Corey Atkins,
Mm-hmm.
whether through the posters we had with
Yeah.
the $20,000 signing bonus, my name on it real big, or been in the schools at the football games, whatever. So it was more so once I made that phone call, I'm telling you, about 6 out of 10 times it was, "Oh, you Sergeant Atkins with the National Guard."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which made calling way, way, way easier.
And so that's kind of what you were mentioning. If you're not going to go out, shake hands and kiss the babies, you need to be doing the marketing piece of it. And
Absolutely.
so now if you get these onesie, twosie phone calls, it's a lot easier of they're not even really cold with it. Maybe lukewarm.
True.
True. Lukewarm at this
Which
point.
is better than cold.
Absolutely.
Better than cold.
So it's hard to make connections through phone calls, especially when you're first starting out, and you can equate it towards cold calling, or I guess it will all be cold calling. But for instance, you see a number or somebody say, "Hey, you should go talk to so and so." Not that so and so called you, so it's still kind of cold. But and I kind of want to know your kind of how you would navigate this. But somebody says, "Oh, Thomas, you need to go call Atkins. You need a guy that looks like TD Jakes. That's going to be the guy you call." And so I'm calling you. You don't know me from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do to kind of make that or make them feel comfortable? Like, how do you even build a connection with somebody you don't know?
So the social media world has made it real easy to build a connection. Before I make that phone call, I'm going to search this person on social media. And if I look and say, "Oh man, this guy goes fishing," or "This guy plays golf," or "He's married with 2 kids," or blah, blah, blah. Not to sound creepy, but I can tie that in, you know what I'm saying, to that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
That's close.
Like, "Man, hey, I'm sorry. I know it's a little late. I just got out the golf course, blah, blah, but I know he plays golf.
Right.
So I'm throwing that out there as bait, you know what I'm saying? And so he's going to probably come back with, "Man, what'd you shoot? I play golf too." So now I'm building a relationship before I put this meat on his plate for him to eat on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Dang. But so that's the research part that you're trying to find. There's a word for that.
Cheating.
Well, I guess cheating works. I mean, you're stealing information to go in and using it against them, knowing. But yeah, I mean, you could call it anything. Building rapport.
Building rapport. So it's almost like let's call it gathering evidence, right? So if a person commit a crime, they go into an interrogation room, and the investigator got a file on him. It makes it easy for him to do his job.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right. It makes it easy for him to do his job because he ain't really got to like get you to confess to nothing. He already got it right here. So I've already went and got some evidence on this person, Or if the person that says, "Hey, call Thomas Brown," I want to say, "Hey, well, can you tell me a little bit about Mr. Brown?"
Gotcha.
So just gather any little bit of information about this person can ease the conversation going in to build that relationship,
I'm gonna be honest. Anybody give me a name, I ask, is it all right to name drop? Because they may just know them as a dope person, but maybe they've burnt bridges with them, but they
Right.
still want me to be successful. Like if I name drop, it's gonna be cool. Don't mention my name.
Right.
I talked to his baby mama last year. Don't
Right,
mention
right,
my
right.
name.
Yeah. Stole his speakers out of his car. yeah, don't mention my name.
Hey, don't mention me, but it's a great guy.
Right.
Love him. Great pastor. Great
Right,
pastor.
right.
So now that you've been out for how long now at this point? Are you officially out? Because I be seeing you with a beard, and then
I'm officially out. I've been having a beard now since March. So my last,
it only grew that much since March.
I actually started growing it in October last year. So my last day working was October 21st. But I trim it. I try not to get the big beard because I don't want it to get on my hamburger. Hey, you look down and thinking you done put some extra black pepper in your mashed potatoes and it's hair. You know what I'm saying?
Doggone dandruff. You use doggone Head and Shoulders.
No, man, I use this shampoo, man, that
Let me get some black-owned women African soap black bar.
his ex-girlfriend left it in the shower, but it smelled good. So I don't really know.
It's probably Dove
Hey,
body
it
wash.
smells good. No, it's not even one of those names, but it's really, really good. And she used so many times, she done rubbed the name off of it. So I'm going to have to call and ask her what's the name of it.
Hey, I hate to bother you.
Real
Real
bother
quick.
you, but what's the name of this shampoo you left in the
African
shower?
body oil.
Yeah, it's body butter.
So you've been out since you said April? Is that when you officially had out?
No, my official out day was January 31st
Of this year.
of this year.
Okay. What does that look like for folks that retire? Like, is there still stuff for y'all to do in regards of Army stuff? Like, hey, you got to check back in the VA once a year.
No. So if you get 100% permanent in total, P&T means you never have to go
P&T.
back to the VA ever. Ever. I don't have to go up for any follow-up appointments. So that's the goal. Not
They
just to
just
get
they
100.
just waiting for you to die at this point.
They waiting to cut that check on the first.
Okay.
Right.
That's
know
what they
I'm
better
saying?
be waiting on.
Yeah. So there's a difference between just being 100% and 100% P&T. If you're 100% and not permanent in total, you can go back. You're going to have to go back for evaluations, right? And they can drop that 100% to 50% really quick. So the goal is to get 100% permanent in total. Permanent total, I ain't never got to go back. I ain't never even been to the VA, but one time that was just to turn my paperwork in.
Dang.
Yep, I never been back. And that was over a year ago.
How was your military experience? Did you like it?
Yes, I did. It was the best. So I got to tell you this.
Tell me if you don't mind.
Why I love my military career so much. Because I was a father, a husband, and broke as hell before I joined.
Oh, dang.
So I'm going to tell you how I joined. I was working at a job in Little Rock, Arkansas, driving from Warren, Arkansas, like an idiot, making $9 an hour. Right?
Just work at Burger King.
I stopped at the gas station, coming back from Little Rock. I pulled up to the pump, and I asked for $8 on pump 5. That's all
How'd
I
that
had.
make you feel?
But listen, I had to go. So back then, I didn't mean to say listen.
Yeah, you did, though.
I did, though. So I'm going to how it made me feel.
Okay.
So I had to go to the ATM machine because we didn't have mobile banking back then. I had to go to the ATM machine to see how much I had in the bank account. You ready for this?
Come on.
I had $10, but they charged me $2 to check my balance.
You're like, dang.
Yes. They charged me $10, $2 to check my balance because it wasn't my bank.
Yeah.
Right? And I felt some type of way in that moment. I'm like, dang, I got $8. So I went to the gas pump and I got $8 worth of gas, right? And that bothered me that I had to go check my account before I got gas. I got a daughter at home, which is pretty newborn, a stepdaughter at home, and a wife at the time, right? So we got a house, we got cars, we got, and I'm broke, and I'm supposed to be the leader of this family, right?
You working a regular job now, right?
Right now?
At this point.
At this point, I was
Regular
working
job.
a regular job,
Okay.
right? And so I came back to Warren. I always go check on my grandmother first. And I went over to the railroad tracks, and there was a National Guard building right there. Had the sign with the arrow with the lights blinking, bam, bam. It said $8,000 signing bonus.
It's like, give me some of that.
And in that moment, $8,000 would change my life forever. I'm serious. That's how bad I
Yeah.
was. That $8,000, even though they were going to take 33% of it, and I was only going to get half
Yeah.
of that left. It was life changing for me, right? And so I knew I was in a really bad space. If after taxes I get half of this, I think my check was $1,800.
Like monthly?
No, at like this bonus. So they tax it 33%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they tax it 33%. Maybe a little more, maybe like $2,300,
But
whatever.
still, though.
Then you get half of that,
That's right. Okay.
right? So that $2,300 was life changing. You didn't get that till you got back from basic and AIT. So I had to wait almost 6 months to get it. But still. So yeah. So my military career, that was the start of it. Believe as low as that sounds, $2,300, but getting that type of money, putting my family in a better position. And that was the first time in my life where I actually felt like I had a career, had a job before that. So throughout the course of my career, I would give, if 10 is great, I would give mine a 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen some
Yeah,
of it,
yeah.
you know? And a lot of it, again, tying into what we talked about, I was able to build relationships. So I got to tell you this, if I may.
If you go.
I was National Guard 1 weekend a month, just a regular 1 weekend a month soldier. My drill check was like $134 once I got back from basic and AIT. And a buddy of mine, when I got back, he was recruiting there. And so I had to pass by his EA's office to get to his office. Master Sergeant Joe Finley. He was sitting there with a dip in his mouth, spitting in the cup. I walked directly to him because I saw his rank, and I did what?
Made relation.
I shook his hand and said, "Hey, Master Sergeant Finley, I'm Corey Atkins. I just got back from basic training AIT. Here, report in, blah, 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 Sergeant Bree Love." And he would just start asking me questions about basic training, and we talked. And that was a start of a master relationship.
Yeah.
I go in and see my friend who I grew up with, and we dapped and hugged it, the bro hug, the black shit, right?
Yeah.
And we talked, and man, about a month later, he called me back and said, "Hey man, Master Sergeant Finley want to know if you'd be interested in doing some ADOS." Like, nigga, I don't even know what ADOS is. I don't even know what ADOS is. But yeah. And he's like, so anyway, that's
You just back at a regular job when you got back from training?
I
Or
was
you
back
sitting
at a
on
regular
your
job
Okay.
when I got back for a month.
Okay.
And he said, "You'll be making the same thing you were making while you was on active duty." And I'm like,
That was all you need to hear.
that's all I needed to hear. And man, I went back and I worked for 2 years as ADOS. Here's something you don't know.
Go ahead.
So back in the day, ADOS couldn't put people in the guard.
Okay.
They had no way of putting anybody in the guard, right? But back then we had paper packets,
Okay.
right? I was the first Arkansas recruiter,
Here we go.
first to put someone in the National Guard.
Who can vouch that?
As an ADOS. Master Sergeant Finley, he's still alive, living in Fordyce, Arkansas. Hey, so when I submitted this paper packet through fax, they're like, "Who is this? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
He's not a recruiter, blah, blah." So anyway, I was the first person to put someone in the guard as an ADOS. Now they get a mission. But anyway, he left after about 9 months. He took a recruiting job in Michigan.
Finley?
No,
Your homie.
my homie.
Okay.
Right? They hired somebody else. I'm still ADOS. He didn't work out. But that relationship I had with Master Sergeant Finley, no kidding you. This is the truth. This is why I say relationship gets you more. He said, "Corey, I'm at to send you to recruiting school." I really didn't want to be a recruiter, honestly. And I was like, "Okay, Master Sergeant Finley, whatever you got to do, blah, blah." And so I went to recruiting school. He came back. He said, "Well, I need to hire for this position, so you need to submit a packet." Like, you telling a E4 to submit a packet, E5 to HR, and I've never done this before.
Yeah.
So I submitted my packet. 11 people applied for this job in Warren.
People dying to come to Warren?
Back then, because they knew that the AGR, the segue to getting HR
Was a recruiter.
was being a recruiter.
Okay.
Kind of the same way today.
That's right.
Man, my packet did not go through HRO because I had several errors. But because the relationship I had with Metro and Finley, they did a non-select,
Dang.
re-announced the job, and he sat down with me and filled this, him and Marshawn Garner, who was about to be his replacement. They sat down with me to make sure I got this packet filled out. We hand carried it to HRO for them to review it to make sure because I was their guy.
Yeah.
Not because I was a good recruiter, because they ain't never seen me put this one person in, but because that relationship that I had with Marshawn and Finley, it caused me to get more.
Dang.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grandpa, huh?
I can show you a text message on my phone.
Finley ain't got no phone.
He do. I messaged him on Facebook Messenger last week, and I said, I never thank you for the opportunity you gave me 24 years ago.
Wow, that's
Got it on my
first
phone
off,
right
piece
now.
of shit. You didn't tell him that. You just now said thank you.
You know what? I didn't. I thanked them probably then. I guess maybe. I guess I didn't know how big of an opportunity it was
Right.
when it was presented to me. You know, because I didn't see myself even then doing 20 years active duty and retiring. I had no idea I was gonna get to this point. But I think he's still alive because he's old. But I thanked him. I picked up the phone and I messaged him last week on Facebook Messenger. And of course, he had some good things to say. So yeah.
Shout out to Finley, man.
Shout out to the freaking
OG.
Finley, man. But yeah, man, my career was great, man. I didn't have a lot of bad in my career. If it was bad, I created it. Yeah. Because I did.
Is that the same for everybody? Because, you know, there's some cancers in the military where folks are like, ugh. Some of that kind of rubs off on folks. I was at drill the other day, and they was like, hey.
You still in?
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Okay.
Sergeant,
All right.
Sergeant Brown?
Okay. It's actually Sergeant Major.
Sorry, man. Okay, my bad. You boy promoted himself.
So, man, I get the drill, and like people are like upset, and obviously I know why they're upset. They're at drill, they do that all the time or whatever. But you could just come in there and have false motivation, because I'm in there singing and stuff, and I almost got a doggone pull somebody to be motivated and have fun. I don't like having to do that.
You and I are rare breeds. And that's something you got to know, that you're not common. We're the weird ones.
Yeah.
To them, we are the weird. The people that come in with the laughter and the smiles and want to touch everybody and speak to everybody, we are the weird ones, all right? You got to know that. So that makes us special, you know?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're special. We're weird, but we're special because I meet more people that would not speak first or just to say hi.
Yeah,
Think about how many
no
people
doubt.
you speak to first. And if you don't
They're
speak,
ain't
almost
nobody
all
can
of
say
them.
it. Yeah.
That's why we're different. That's why that mouthpiece gets you where you are. You know, it will.
Shout out to my dentist. Anything that you want to shout out? I know you haven't done any social media stuff yet for the catering thing yet. So I do appreciate you being on here. But did you want to highlight any of that type of stuff, or you wanted folks to the partnership piece? Y'all know where to find me. Just look me up on Facebook. How can somebody get in touch?
That's actually been working. So like I say, this is something totally new. It's word of mouth. It's called Capricorn Catering. And the name came from one, I'm a Kappa. Shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi. Yeah.
I'm listening.
And I'm a Capricorn, right? Born December 29th. And I cater. So I was struggling with trying to find a name. So you know what?
That's clever. Now that you said, okay, that's
so
clever. That's clever.
Capricorn Catering is all K's. Capricorn Catering.
Oh,
right?
KKK.
KKK. Shout out to the white folks. Right? Right? And so, yeah. So yeah, Capricorn Catering, man. So yeah, you know what? I got something. Here's a shout out. Scratch my business.
Hold on. Are you going to put down your logo?
KKK? Yeah. And I'm going to have a little hood in the background.
A subliminal hood.
Yeah, it's subliminal hood. Yeah. KKK. So that way I can get some white business. Yeah. I can get some white business.
Ain't going to put no face to the brand.
Kind of like Clayton Bigsby.
Who's that? Oh, dang. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you about to say?
You know what? You asked me, do I want to
Yeah,
throw a
shout
shout
out.
out?
Yeah.
You know what? I do have a shout out.
What you got?
Shout out to all the good fathers out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out, because since I've been off work, I got to see more stuff outside of work. There's some really good fathers out there, man.
Some would be considered dope. Some dope fathers.
Some dope fathers out there, man. And they don't get credit for it, Even though they like not married to the mom or they still some great fathers out there. So to the great fathers that hear this message, man, don't let anything keep you from being nothing less than great father, because there's some benefits to it. My daughter and I have an amazing relationship.
Yeah, y'all do. Yeah.
We do. And she still see me as a great father. So
Heck yeah.
yeah.
She know your beard gray now? She noticed that?
Yeah, she like it too.
Okay.
She like it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I'm still getting used to the beard. And it's not anything for me to need to, but I just haven't noticed always seeing you like this.
I like it, man. I get a lot of compliments.
I can tell. You're already a suave dressed individual.
I hate I didn't present myself as suave today.
I'm going to just tell them.
Yeah.
Because they know I don't do anything with style.
Right.
For me to say, remember the level? This is you. You want me to show you where I'm at?
You right there.
I appreciate it, but
Yeah.
you be suave.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your clothes be a little too little though.
Okay, here we go. So I want you to know that do you invite folks over to your cigar lounge? Is that like an open to the public thing?
No.
Okay.
It's not open to the public.
Okay.
But it's over to friends.
Okay.
And I would love to have you over. I'll have your favorite drink.
What's my favorite drink?
Whatever I bet you I got it. I probably got 300 bottles of liquor and, bourbon, tequila. So I'm sure I got it.
Maybe.
I'm sure.
I'm a pretty-
What you drink? I'll
Whiskey
be honest.
sour.
Huh? I got that on the Bartesian. Yeah.
I don't really. There's only you and who else? Honestly, it's only you that I ever. Maybe Mendez that I ever have to. If I ever drink ever and I need something new, or there's like I don't know about any drinks. I'm not that type of.
I'm going to give you one. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Bullet Bourbon makes an old fashioned in an orange bottle that's already pre-made.
That's with the cherry thing.
Yeah, but it ain't got the cherry, but it's pre-made old fashioned by Bullet. It's an amazing drink. Pairs well with a cigar.
Is that something that your homies out there in West Helena got?
No, he just has a bourbon, which is it's a brown, it's a bourbon. He has a vodka, and he has a gin, which I don't know nobody drinking gin, but shout out to Delta Dirt.
You know what you need to do a podcast. Well, first, let me go ahead and close this one out. So this is another episode of Stealing from Friends, where we bring on dope folks. Wait, that's the beginning. Hold on, let me start this one over. So again, guys, that's the episode. Hey. Oh, they're already. It's just gonna be an automatic thing. So Stealing from Friends is a podcast where we bring on folks that we want to take information from. But here's the thing, guys. If you're not doing anything, I want you to listen to me closely. With all the folks you can steal from in the world, I mean, you're looking at Asia, Indonesia, people steal from Africa all the time. You're going too far. Just steal from somebody that's like your friend is right there. They don't know you're there. And so those are the best ones to steal from. And that's what we do here today. So I want to appreciate you, I appreciate you again for being here. And we'll be right back on the next episode. So make sure you do all the stuff you're supposed to do on social media, because it's what you're supposed to do. And we'll see you. Peace.
Whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worry. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines, one too many times. Wicked games we play make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude, knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less, cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our day to